Hey guys, I'm live. How are you guys doing today? As you can see, I'm currently by myself. Paul has a day job. He's working today. Jason's feeling a little under the weather. So I'm gonna man the show myself today. So we're gonna first of all, let's get some business out of the way. Okay. As you can see, I got the banner up there for Sensi by Terry. We want to keep honoring um, her sponsorship, and so I would like you to go to check out that website and see what you could find there that you can order. There's lots of good stuff there you can order. You'll supporting a fellow Iowa Hawkeye fan who loves the Hawks and is passionate as anyone else I know about her fandom and the Hawkeyes. So give her a try. Just support a fellow Hawkeye and let her know that her money is well spent on this podcast. And so that, and then next, I want to say we're on YouTube Live right now. Go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Share it with your friends. Share it with your family. Share it with Husker fans, Cyclone fans, whoever. Let's get those numbers up. Right now, we're over 200. We're pushing for 300 now. 300 is our next goal, and eventually we want to get it to 1,000. It would be great if we could get this up there a ways. I know that. Anyway, I just want to get this up there. Get this channel going. I promise you that as much as possible, we will have Jason and Paul on here. Right now, I just felt the need. We needed to keep these podcasts coming, or you will forget about us, and so that's why I'm here solo today. And I don't know, maybe we'll have a surprise or two pop up on the show today. We'll find out later. Okay. So anyway, this is our bowl preview. I promised you guys I wanted to wait until the bowl week to do this because you guys have had some questions about it. So jump in, ask questions, comments, leave your comments and stuff. But here we are. It's Music City Bowl Week, and we're gonna do that. And then later on in the show, I'm gonna give you every Big Ten bowl game and my prediction for it. Um, I believe the first bowl game starts tomorrow with Wisconsin. Okay, for the Big Ten. Um, but there's been some during the bowl season. There's been some exciting bowl games, and I've got a privilege to watch most of them, but not all of them. Okay, all right. So anyway, as you know, the noon Eastern time is time for the game this Saturday against Kentucky. It'll be on ABC. Both teams are coming off disappointing 7-5 seasons. Both teams expected to do better than they did. Um, Kentucky right now is on a 20-game non-conference winning streak. Um, Iowa doesn't have a winning streak going in non-conference right now. Um, so yeah, we lost Iowa State. Our last no, wait a minute. We do have one. We have a one game. Nevada. We have one game winning streak against Nevada. So we have one game. They have 20. Um, because we suffered that disappointing loss to Iowa State, and I think if Iowa State had had a better season and we didn't shoot ourselves in the foot, so bad in that game that we probably wouldn't have lost the game. But right now that kind of stinks because Iowa State really had an awful season and we shot that ourselves in the foot and gave them that game. Anyway, okay. Kentucky's on 4 consecutive bowl wins. Iowa has no consecutive bowl wins right now. They lost their last bowl game against this very Kentucky team. So that's that's sad. I mean, that was kind of like they came back to win that one, in a very close game. Okay. Okay. So both teams have opt outs. Uh, so Kentucky has Chris Rodriguez, their running back, Will Levis, their quarterback, and Carrington Valentine, their cornerback. These are three key people for Kentucky. Okay. Iowa just has Merriweather out. And so, I mean, opt out. Surely the transfer portal has caused some havoc. Interesting enough, I found that comparisons in the notes, Iowa's defense gave up the sixth fewest points in the nation last year at 14.42. Kentucky gave up the 11th fewest points at 19.08. All right. Kentucky is starting Wade, a fourth string quarterback, in their game against Iowa. Iowa is starting a third string quarterback, um, quarterback in Joey Labus. Wow, we've got two quarterbacks that have not thrown a pass in a college football game. Um, so, how many points get scored in this game, guys? How many points do you think? It's just going to be crazy because um, both these teams' offenses were a little inept. But if Iowa had scored 19.8 points a game, I think we'd have a little better record than we do. Um, as you guys know, Iowa's offense was one of the worst, but um, it's not as bad as everybody thinks. They're always saying we last. They're always saying that we're last, but we were 122nd out of 131 at 17.9 a game. Kentucky's offense was 105th at 22.1 games. Who's going to score, guys? Who's going to score? Oh man, Jared. Okay, first of all, let me go with this Labus question. Okay, I think we're going to be able to see Labus extend some plays. Whereas Petrus was not able to do that, and as it turned out, neither was Alfadia. I think he's able to improvise a little bit. I mean, he's not a dual threat quarterback, but he's a quarterback that can um, get himself out of trouble using his legs. And if something breaks down, he can improvise and hopefully extend plays and drives. That would be great. And so that's what I'm expecting from him. But what I'm expecting Iowa to do to get him comfortable is to come out with a lot of run early. I think they're going to come out with a lot of run early and a little easy passes to kind of get him calmed down because he will come out nervous as hell and kind of jittery. So that's what I'm expecting there. And okay, next, Jared, you're predicting 24-20 Iowa. I'm also going to predict an Iowa win, but I don't think the score is going to be that high. I'm looking more along the lines of something 17-16 to 14-13, somewhere along the lines. I just don't know if either team is going to be able to score very much. I'm hearing good things about Labus. So yeah, I'm hearing good things about Labus, but I just don't know what we're going to expect in this game. Short screen passes and slants. Probably to get him started. Probably to get him started to kind of make him feel at ease. That's where I'm looking at. Yeah. Honestly, defense is going to win this game. For both either one. It depends. Who can do the best? We've got Cooper back, Cooper DeJean. Maybe he can get us a turnover or two. Jack Campbell is going to play in this game, which is really really important. I think that's key. What can he do for us? I think he can get in there and rush a little bit and get to the ball carrier quicker. So I really believe that that's possible. That's why I believe Iowa wins a defensive battle. I think it's going to be an ugly win. Much like the South Dakota State game. I think it's just going to be ugly for both teams. Both teams are going to be ugly. I think we're pretty well evenly matched. I really do. I think we have our number one running back running, but the one thing too is Caden Johnson. He has to also learn how to pass block. Some of those pass blocks things that allowed Petrus to get sacked this year were also were also a result of Caden Johnson not being experienced enough in the pass blocking. Um, and so, yeah, I think the O line will be a little bit better. To be better prepared. I think we saw last year that they are better. They got better as the season went on this year, but they still have struggles. There are certain guys who can't play in certain positions because they don't know They, sometimes they just don't know who to block. I think Jack Plum was one of those guys this year. He struggled a lot this year. I think it looks to me like in the two deeps. I don't have the two deeps pulled up here, but let me pull them up. I believe they made some changes here. And I think they got some healthy ones back. Let me see if I can find those real quick. Alrighty. Okay. So here we go. Here's what our old line should look like. Okay. Left tackle will be Mason Richmond, and he's done a solid job all year. With Jack Plum as his backup, left guard will be Connor Colby with Tyler Ellsbury as his backup. Is that has Ellsbury played yet this year? Um, I'm not sure. Okay, Logan Jones at center with Maliski as his backup. Um, Dunker, I think he's just starting to come into his own, and he'll be backed up by Bo Stevens at right guard, and then at right tackle Nick DeJong, and then finally Jack Plum there. So Jack Plum looks like they're going to move him around a little bit. And so and Dante Vines will be interesting enough. He's got the starting nod at wide receiver over Brody Breck. And who's the other wide receiver starting? Nico Rahagini over Alec Wick. So we do have a walk on there. And then, of course, both Laporta and Luke Lachey are listed as our tight ends. So, and Caleb Johnson and I said Caden, didn't I? It's Caleb Johnson and LaShawn Williams as our running backs. But don't be surprised to see Patterson get the ball a few carries Saturday as well. I really think I think we're going to see a heavy dose at least early in the game of run. I really believe that. Okay. All right. Okay. So one thing I did notice is, Iowa has. I'm confused now. I'm not sure if Iowa has anywhere from 8, 9, 10 transfer portal people. Um, so I think really the ones that have left are injured anyway and wouldn't have played, except for Alex Padilla. He would have been the starting quarterback if he had not left. And then Dallas, oh, can't Kadith. Okay, he's on here too. Let me bring him up. Let's go ahead and talk about the defense while we've got him. Okay. Dallas. What do you call? Dallas. Credith. Okay, he's on the transfer portal too, but he's going to play. He's opted to play the bowl game. Okay, and so let's just go run down what our defense is going to look like. Okay, at left end we're going to have John Wagner backed up by Ethan Herkett. Left tackle is going to be Noah Shannon backed up by Luca Van Ness. And honestly, I thought Luca Van Ness was starting to come into his own. I'm surprised that he's not actually got the starting spot there. Right tackle is Logan Lee, spot backed up by Yaya Black. I think Yaya Black has been uh golly. I thought he was injured all year, so he must be back from the injured list. Okay. Right in is Joe Evans and Dante Craig. Our cash position will be, or the Leo cash position would be Seth Benson and Sebastian Castro. I think those guys are starting to come into their own again this year too. Middle linebacker will be Jack Campbell and Jay Higgins, and Jay Higgins is also at wide linebacker. Um, and so backed up by Kyler Fisher. Oh, wow, that's interesting. Kyler Fisher has to be my friend on Facebook this week. Um, okay. Left corner, Cooper DeJean backed up by Jamison Hines. I know that Hines got he got a little start going there. He got some playing time with Cooper out this last game, so he's got some game experience now. Sebastian Castro would be our strong safety, also backed up by Dallas Cradith. Free safety would be Quinn Schulte and Xavier Wampa. Look for Wampa to get some starting experience there too, like maybe at the cash or something. Okay, and then of course the right corner is held down by Riley Moss and TJ Hall. TJ Hall got a lot of playing time this year too, and so um, that that's going to help our offense, and it's going to help our offense next year. Right now, our place kicker is Drew Stevens as always, and our punter is Torrey Taylor. There's no backups for either one of them. Um, Kick returner would be Caleb Johnson, Xavier Wampa. Okay, you guys have been wanting to see that. Did we see that this year? Did Xavier, the X Man, did he do some punt returning or kick returns this year? I don't know. But anyway, that's who our two returners are, and then punt returners would be Alec Wick and Cooper DeJean, and snaps is Lucan Elkin, and holder is Torrey Taylor. Who knew that Torrey Taylor was the holder? I always thought they used a backup quarterback. Okay, I got to agree with you on this one, Jared. I between defense and special teams, I mean that's been Iowa's strong suit all year, and it's going to have to be to win the game. We're going to have to. It would be great if we could get some defensive turnovers and set the offense up in great field position, or even just score for us and get it out of the way. Um, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking, like I said, I'm looking a lot like a South Dakota State game. Um, that win. Um, that, in my personal opinion. So yeah, I mean between defense and special teams, Jared, you're right on the money. You're right on the money. I mean, I just don't. You got Iowa scoring 24 points. I don't see how that's possible unless Joey is just something phenomenal and he comes out and just lights it up, and then you know, of course, as I just said, both Laporte and Cooper are back for the bowl game. And so that's really key because they were out against Nebraska, and that really hurt. We lost so many key people against Nebraska, and we still had a chance to win that game or at least tie it. Um, so I don't know. I don't have much else to say about the game. So if you guys got any questions out there, throw them my way. Any comments, we can talk about them. Um, so any other questions you think you might want to know that I haven't thought about? I do believe Iowa wins this game, and I'm going to predict, like 16-13 somewhere in there. Iowa may score a lot of field goals. Okay, maybe 19, um, 19-13, something like that. So I truly believe that they're going to score more more field goals than they do touchdowns. So okay, draft predictions. Haven't really thought about it too much. I believe Campbell is a sure pick. Um, who else in my mind? Who do you think, Jared? Who are your draft predictions? Okay. Off of this here. Go back. I believe Sam Laporta will be a draft pick. I thought maybe he'd go early in early round, but I think most people are feeling like he's a 5 or 6 round pick. So he should go for sure. If Laporta does come out, I think he goes around. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know who you got. We don't know if Laporta's coming back or not. My guess is he is not. I think he's kind of hinted that way that he's not coming back. Um, for sure. Otherwise, I think we wasted a good transfer portal pick on Eric All because if we got San Laporta and Lachey back next year, with that freshman who's making some headway, who got some playing time this year, I think we didn't need Eric All. So with Sam, so I believe that the coaching staff actually believes that Sam Laporta is leaving. In all honesty, he could come back if he wants to, but I believe they think he's leaving in because that reason alone. That's why Eric All has been signed on for next year. It's my personal opinion. So I think Jack Campbell is probably my only defensive player who gets picked this year in the draft. I think Iowa gets a lot of looks. I think um, Roberts is coming back next year, but not to Iowa. I thought he had a chance. Merriweather. Honestly, guys, if he gets drafted, it'll be very late, 6th or 7th round. Merriweather. I think he'll be one of those free agent signees at the end. Like I said, at this point, I'm only looking for Laporta and Campbell to get drafted from Iowa this year. I'm not looking for a lot. Remember, Iowa is not that old of a team, so just going through there, and so yeah, that's where I'm at. I know. So who do you think? I mean, Jared, who do you got on your list? You got Campbell and you got Laporta. Any other draft predictions you got on there? Um, okay. Yeah. All right. I think I'm going to go move into. I wish I had more interactive people today. I mean, some of these shows you get 3 or 4 people interacting with us, and some shows we only get one. But Jared is always there. Jared, I appreciate you, buddy. You're always there. Um, uh, Riley Moss, I think would be a late round draft pick if he decides to go. He could. Is he? Yeah, he's used up his eligibility. He has. Okay, I'm sorry. So Riley Moss. Yeah, I hadn't thought about him. Yeah, I think he could be a late pick or two. Um, I really do. But again, I think he gets picked up as a free agent, and a lot of these guys do well in the NFL. Iowa players do. A lot of teams aren't scared to look at Iowa players as free agents. But like I said, Campbell and Laporta for sure. Possibility of Moss. Um, we'll see. We'll see. I think that's one of the reasons why Moss is playing in the game because he wants to up his chances. Up his chances. Same with Nico Rahagini. I don't think he gets drafted. I think he's a free agent pick. But actually, he can come back if he wants to. I did not know that. I thought he'd use up all of his eligibility, but I think Kirk Ferentz said that he's a possibility of coming back next year too. That would be fantastic if he did. Because if he came back to up his draft status, think about Riley Moss. He came back this year to up his draft status. He thought he could do better job of getting himself in a position, and I think what this year has happened to him because of injuries, and he wasn't as effective as he has been in the past. Uh, I think he hurt his draft status. I really do, but I still think he'll get a look. I still think he'll get a look. Okay, and we'll after the season's over, after the bowl games, we'll go over who I think and is going to be drafted and who we think is not and where we see them getting drafted. That drafted, but I want to get through the bowl game first, and let's see what we do here. Okay, I'm going to go with okay. Try to be positive as much as possible. Am I not being positive, or you're trying to be positive? Maybe that's what you're trying to tell me. Let me know. I'm not trying to be throwing out anything negative out there, to you guys. I thought everything was positive, but we'll find out. Find out. Yeah. But anyway, let's go over some of the bowl games, and we can always come back to Iowa if we got some more questions and comments. Okay. Okay. As you guys know, well, let's start with the games in order that they're going to be played. Okay. Guaranteed Rate Bowl with Wisconsin versus Oklahoma State start tomorrow. Yeah, I agree with you, Jared. I agree with you. I'll bring that up so people can see that. Um. Okay. We live for the football season. We do. I mean, we got the basketball season and the wrestling season to follow. But we'll be able to. One of the things that'll keep us going in the off season is one of the things that'll keep us going in the off season is looking to see if Kirk Ferentz makes any staff changes. Who are they going to sign in the second signing period? Um, Draft. Um, the draft, not the draft. I mean, the transfer portal. Are we going to pick anybody else up? I mean, from what I heard, they're looking for a wide receiver and offensive lineman for sure in the portal. We'll see how that goes. Okay. Oklahoma State for Wisconsin over Wisconsin. That's actually who I got. I got that pick too. Um, but then we got the on Friday or Thursday. Thursday. Minnesota versus Syracuse. I'm going to actually take Minnesota in this game. How about you, Jared? Okay. Whoops. Did I? Okay. So, oh yeah, the wrestling season is going to be great. I'm disappointed that hopefully we can come back and get our Big Ten title back and our Big Ten title and our national title back away from Penn State. But let's face it, they got an uphill battle. Yeah. Okay. Jared's picking Minnesota in that game. All right. Yeah. I mean, I'm in no rush. The Mayo Bowl is Maryland versus North Carolina State. I've got North Carolina State in that game. Okay. Of course, I think both Jared and I have got Iowa in the Music City Bowl. The Relia Quest Bowl, but Illinois versus Mississippi State. This is going to be tough. This is tough. Mississippi State's coming out there with their head coach. How are they going to rally around him and really go big over Illinois? Originally, I had Illinois picked in this game, but I'm leaning toward Mississippi State because I think the emotion's going to be too high and too sweet, and I think Mississippi State comes out on top on this one instead. Just because I think they're coming in without their head coach, who passed away, Leach, and can the Illinois defense stop the air raid? Yeah, I agree with you, Jared. It's just too emotional of a game. But and of course, Illinois has a great defense, but it can't stop the air raid. Because the air raid's going to go on with or without Mike Leach. Um, okay. Next we have in the Citrus Bowl, Purdue versus LSU. I took LSU in this game. I think Purdue has both. They're going into that game with no quarterback and Charlie. They both opted out of the bowl game. And so I think Purdue is going to get manhandled by LSU. Yeah. I think you and I are right on the same page, buddy. Right on the same page. Okay, this is going to get tougher now. Penn State versus Utah in the Rose Bowl. Utah is a very good team. Very good team. I watched them against USC, and they're very impressive. But I'm going with Penn State in this game. I think Penn State is going to be a little, yeah, Jared, I agree with you. Charlie was the offense. Him and Aiden. Without Aiden throwing the ball and without Charlie catching the ball, they've got no offense. They're going to be hard pressed to score some points. And they don't have a head coach. You know, I believe Brum's brother, who will join him at Louisville, is currently running the team, though. Okay. Yeah. All right. PS tougher conference. Yeah, I agree with you. Utah's not kind of used to the defense because everybody knows the Pac-12. You just have to outscore your team. You don't. They don't play defense there in the Pac-12. And I think that's what just speaking of that, I think once some of those teams, UCLA and USC, get to the Big Ten, they're going to have a wide awakening. You know, that they're going to find out that they're not just going to be able to outscore these teams because Big Ten plays some physical, tough defense. When you look up and down that the Big Ten 14 teams, uh, uh, the defense. I mean, even like Rutgers can play a tough defense sometimes, and it's just it's getting physical and it's getting harder and harder to win. Yeah, and yeah, and I agree with you on the Penn State and Michigan losses. The Penn State lost to Michigan and Ohio State, the only two teams, and so they are the third best team in the Big Ten, regardless. Because I'm going to tell you what, Purdue wasn't the third best team; they weren't the second best team. The thing, and basically they backed into the bowl game because we gave it to them. We just said, "Here, we don't want to go, so Purdue, it's your turn. You can have it." Okay, all right. Ohio State versus Georgia in the Peach Bowl. This is for third place versus fourth. I mean, fourth place versus first place in the playoff. I really want Ohio State to win this game, but I don't think they will. I think Georgia's just going to have too much going for them, and so I believe Georgia gets that game. And then Michigan versus TCU, a game of 2 versus 3. I'm giving this one to Michigan. Michigan is really looking pretty good. I mean, they start out slow. They let Iowa hang around early this year. They let Purdue hang around early this year. And then they just kind of blew them out of the water. As much as they did Ohio State, they even allowed to hang around for a while. Then they've slowly pulled away in that game too. And you got Georgia versus Michigan in the title game. I do too. I think it's going to be a great title game of Georgia versus Michigan, and Michigan could win that. They really could. Um, I think Georgia's reputation keeps them at number one right now, and I think people are overlooking what Michigan can do. I really do. Michigan is kind of like what I thought Iowa was going to be at one time, you know. But they're better because they have more skilled player, So, yeah, that's where I'm at on the picks. I gave you my picks. You know, and, and I'm gonna take Michigan over Georgia, but like you said, we don't know for sure if those are going to be the two teams. They might not be the two teams. Things have happened. We'll wait and see. So, I don't know. It looks like it's a quick show today, only about half hour show, but we don't have Coach on here, we don't have Paul on here, and usually they do most of the talking and stretch the show out for us, and so I pretty much said what I was going to say, and I wish I had them on the show today, and I'll try to figure out how we can get them on the post game show. Well, hang on for that, Jared. I'm going to find out real quick. Odds of Michigan versus Ohio State in the national title game. Hmm. I can't find the odds. I really can't find them. They are not here. Okay. Georgia's a one plus 135 to win the title. Michigan is 270 to win the title, plus 270. Plus 350 for Ohio State, and TCU has a plus 1500. So they're not even giving TCU any chance. You know, I just got a text from Paul. Hang on for a second. So so this Friday, it looks like we're gonna do a pregame show. Um, so we're gonna talk about the offense difference and everything out. So guys, have a good day, and I hope you enjoyed the show. We'll be back Friday sometime with another pregame show, and this is more of a preview show, but we'll do a pregame show coming up Friday. So we'll do it then. All right, guys, take care, and as Jared said, peace out. And I'm going to end with Terry's banner. Guys, don't forget to go honor Terry and support her. Don't forget to subscribe to this video, to the YouTube channel, and share this with all your friends, and let's get some views, and we'll see you guys on Friday for the pregame show. All right, out.